Good afternoon, it's Pamela from Yorkshire in the north of England. I'm here to do the fourth in my series of By Hook or by Crook. This is the challenge where we come up with some sort of murder mystery or detective story, and we make something to fit in with that story. I've picked for this time, I've picked a film only. Normally I like to pick a book that is either part of a TV series or has been made into a film, but this one is just a film, and I've picked Gosford Park. Gosford Park was, I'm having to refer to notes, sorry, but I can't remember everything. It was filmed in 2001 but was released to the general public in 2002. It's written by Julian Fellowes, who is famous for quite a few things, but in my world he did the best adaptation of Pride and Prejudice, which starred Jennifer Ely and Colin Firth. It was a TV adaptation and it was in 6 parts. I much prefer that to any other that came out, and I've seen them all, so I do like that. Apparently there's another one in the making as well. It's set in the 1930s, the beginning of the 1930s, so the clothing they're wearing is very much like, 20s, 30s. It's an all-star cast, it was actually billed as an all-star cast when it first came out. There's the likes of Michael Gambon, Christian Scott Thomas, Maggie Smith, Derek Jacobi, Charles Dance, Lawrence Fox, soon as said. He's formed a political party here, and it is not popular with a lot of people. Ellen Mirren, Richard E. Grant, Sophie Thompson from the famous family, obviously her sister's Emma Thompson, and she's the daughter of Philly Delore, all fine actresses. Clive Owen and Stephen Fry. Many more besides, but those are the ones that stand out to me. It's based around a weekend shooting party, which obviously I don't agree with, but these things happened in the great country houses of that time. And it's in the home of Sir William McCordle. He's also a baronet. He's an industrialist, therefore considered a commoner despite his wealth. Is one of the new money. He's married to Lady Sylvia, and she's the daughter of the Earl of Carton. Now, that's an old name. I know it's fictional, but it's an old name, but they have no money. Like a lot of the old families, the aristocracy, they had no money, but they had the presents, the appeal. So quite a lot of them had the new money marry into them, but they quite often looked down on that new money, but they needed it to survive. They have a daughter, Isabel. Lady Constance, who appears in it, the one played by Maggie Smith, is Lady Sylvia's aunt, and dependent on Sir William for handouts, basically, an allowance. Lady Louisa is Lady Sylvia's sister and married to Lord Stockbridge, and I think it's another Loveless reunion, is that one. Sylvia and Louisa apparently cut cards to decide which one would marry Sir William. Obviously the family needed one of them to marry him in order to get the money into the family, so they did it by cutting cards to decide who they did. You get the impression that Louisa wished she'd won that game of cards, but it could also be that she's just thinking the grass is greener on the other side, because she's not particularly happy with Lord Stockbridge. Lady Sylvia and Lady Louisa's youngest sister is the Honourable Lavinia, who is married to Lieutenant Commander Anthony Meredith. Now, it appears that this is a love match, but Anthony is impoverished and hoping Sir William will fund a business venture. Freddie Nesmith, who comes to the party, does not appear to be related, but he is there in the hope that Sir William will give him a job. You see, so many people rely on this new money, whether they like it or not. He married the daughter of a tradesperson, Mabel, who is a very likeable character, for her money, but has spent it. So he is down on his luck now. He does appear to despise Mabel, which is grossly unfair. They all seem to look down on her, in fact, in the household. They all seem to look down on her. But she does find a friendly face in Ivor Novello, who seems to pay her some attention. Freddie is blackmailing Isabel, Sir William and Lady Sylvia's daughter. By the way, I don't like Lady Sylvia. Generally don't like the characters played by Christian Scott Thomas anyway, but the reason for that is, in this one, is because she kicks the dog, and I don't like people who do that. I know it's only a character, but she, you know, nonetheless doesn't enamour her to me. I've already mentioned Ivor Novello is there. He's a real life matinee idol, and he's also Sir William's cousin. You get the impression he's had to invite himself because a film director goes with him called Maurice Wiseman. He's from Hollywood and is looking to make a film based around, you know, a house party, you know, with regard to the aristocracy in England. So he's wanting to look at how they do things. So Ivor Novello obviously has invited himself to this party. He obviously, someone who's from Hollywood, who's, you know, like, this is a very, you know, like class-based society that we're talking about here. They look down on someone like him, and he does provide a bit of fun for the people at the party, you know, the aristos, because they, you know, like, cause he doesn't know how to do anything, you know, whereas, like, if they're born to it, they do. Now, Lord Rupert Standish is Isabel's boyfriend. Now, he comes to the party but arrives a little late. He's got no money either. And he's got a friend, Jeremy, who comes with him to the party. I don't know whether they're trying to decide how we can marry Lady Isabel without, without having any money. Anyway, we go to below stairs now. So below stairs, one of the first below stairs maids we meet is Mary McCreacron, and she's lady's maid to Constance, played by Maggie Smith, and she's really a glorified maid. You get the impression that Lady Constance has got so little money, you know, she's having to make someone a lady's maid that she wouldn't normally do, and she's trying to do it where she doesn't have to pay the going rate. Robert Parks, we find out grew up in an orphanage, is Stockbridge's valet even. Mrs Wilson is the super efficient head housekeeper. Mrs Croft is the head cook. Mr Jennings is the head butler. Elsie is the head housemaid. Probert is Sir William's valet. He's played by Derek Jacobi. George is the first footman. He's the Richard E. Grant character. Arthur is a footman. Dorothy, she's the one that's played by Sophie Thompson, is a still room maid, which I've never heard of a still room maid. And I mean, you get the impression she's just in charge of jam and marmalade in this, but I think she has more duties than that. Lewis is Lady Sylvia's lady's maid. Barnes is Lieutenant Commander Meredith's valet. That's the odd thing about this, is that, you know, like, he's got no money and he needs Sir William to fund his adventure, yet he's still employing a valet and his wife's still employing a lady's maid, but I suppose that's how they went on. Henry Denton arrives with Novello and Wiseman, and he's acting as Wiseman's valet. Sarah is Lady Lavinia's lady's maid, and Renee is Lady Louise's lady's maid. Bertha is the kitchen maid. Now she's a bit of a goer, so you know, watch out for that. Inspector Thompson is played by Stephen Fry and is an hapless and inept policeman. That is such a funny character. I love that one. Constable Dexter is the noticing and efficient type, but the inspector keeps waving away all his ideas and won't listen to him. Many of the characters have something to hide. So not everyone is as they seem. Watch out for that if you've not seen it before, and see if you can think who is hiding something. There are clues, there's lots of clues. Obviously there's a murder, so the clues you see are there's a missing knife, you see poison bottles everywhere, there's a gun involved, there's an accident with a gun, there's a dropped whiskey glass, a dropped coffee cup. In fact, you see one of them, you just see somebody's legs in gumboots and they're walking round. In fact, you'll notice when you watch it that, you know, as in a classic old whodunit, there's people are missing from a scene. You know, like, so it could be any one of them that did the crime. We'll talk more later about what the crime was and the outcome, but for now, if you haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil it any further than that. As far as I can gather, it's available on ITVX for free. Then you've got Disney Plus Prime. Obviously if you subscribe to them you can get it free. Google Play, I think it's a pay as you go, so if you can pay to watch it on that. And then Apple TV, if you have an iPad, iPhone, whatever, I think you'd be able to get that on there. So that's really all I can tell you for the moment about what the film. And obviously the plot of how they've all come to be there, the main characters, etc. So I hope you do enjoy watching it. If you've already seen it and just want reminding, there is a Gosford Park website that you can get like a rundown on. I got some of my, because even though I've watched it many times, I was confused as to what relationship some of the characters were. For instance, Lady Lavinia, I didn't know until I looked up, she's actually the youngest sister of the other two. Anyway, for the competition, not the competition, that's the wrong word, I'm challenging you to make something in relation to the film Gosford Park. As far as I'm concerned, you can do that. You can do something that's like 1920s, 30s related. You could do something to do with anything that Ivan Novello was involved with. You know, just anything from that era or the film in particular. All crafts are accepted, so obviously crochet, knitting, cross stitch, embroidery, felting, drawing, painting, modelling, anything I will accept an entry for. If you are, the closing date, by the way, is the 31st of December this year, and the closing time is midnight UK time. So wherever you are in the world, it's when it's midnight here, that's the closing time. Your entry is only acceptable by email, so you'd have to email your entry. I will reply to any entries I get, so if you don't hear back from me in a couple of days, you know that I haven't received it and something's gone wrong. The prize that I'm still offering is a £15 e-voucher. At the moment I'm offering that to Etsy or to Amazon. As I've said in the past, if Etsy up their base price for an e-voucher, I will change it to just Amazon. However, the last winner, Kerry, we did an arrangement and she got her prize in another way. I'm open to any suggestion. If I can do it, I will do. I have no affiliations for this. I have nothing to do with the film. Any of these crafts that I say you can enter, it's all me. I'm supplying the prize, and you know, it's just between me and you who want to participate. I will do an update before the deadline, like I've done before, and that's when I've got like a page worth, which is just about the outcome. So I will come on as usual and do the spoilers, but for the moment, just in case you've never seen it, I don't want to say any more than I have. So that's it, folks. I'm sorry I'm very late in putting out the first video for the 4th challenge. I've been totally useless, as you know, because I was so bunged up. I mean, I still am a little bit, but I'm a lot better than I was. There was so much I couldn't do. I just couldn't do it. I was so tired. And talking was so hard. So I've had to wait until I'm fit enough to do it. So I hope that makes sense to you. I hope I haven't dribbled on too much for you. Please do join in if you want to at all. Like I say, I'm pretty flexible about what I will accept the entries of, whichever craft. Like I say, as long as it's loosely based around Gosford Park or anything that would have happened in that era, or in that class or whatever, you know, upstairs or downstairs, I'm happy to take your entry. So just let's have a bit of fun with it. So I hope you enjoy it. Take care of yourself. I'll see you later with a normal podcast.